It's time to go where no Duke has gone before. Into space. Except that's where every Duke goes. Hello. Gaming Wolf plays Duke Nukem 3D. Today we're going to episode 2, Lunar Apocalypse. It's just, we gotta go to the moon, alright? How the aliens happen to also attack the moon, that is a question. But I'm assuming we already have establishments built on the moon by the time of this game. Which I suppose is a thing. You guys think we'd set up science stations on the moon even if we don't end up colonizing planets for hundreds of years? I think so. Duke Nukem is 3D, and he knows that he is three-dimensional, not two-dimensional. That is a fucking stereotype. That's what that is.
Come get some.
Okay.
Nobody steals our chicks and lives.
There goes the transition. We're on a spaceship. We're going to have a lot of things to get. Nearly going to go over everything we possibly see until we get to episode 4. Under attack! Help! By who? Them aliens! Alright, someone left their steroids in case of an emergency. That's important, you know. When you're in space! You know. Space! Gotta go to space. I'm the space, yeah. Alright, we start out with that pistol. Lighting, again, important. Don't ask me how I can see like this. It's like orc night vision, alright? Again, if you're having trouble with the brightness, I would advise trying to turn up your monitor brightness and see how that works out for you, because it's not going to make a difference if I change it and then you still can't see it, you know? It's the reason why I don't really have my own... It's the reason why I don't generate my own closed captions, because that takes into consideration transcription. When YouTube's automatic stuff does it okay, even if there isn't community captions anymore. Let's take a look around. I like how there's a camera hooked up to the inside of the other ship. And it's just, like, floating there. Aimlessly. Going for all the secrets in this episode has proven to me that my long play was very insufficient in terms of length. Even though it was already long. It could have been even longer. I say long play, but that's because I actually tried out this game before. Which could have been a long play format. And thinking on it... No, there's a lot of things that really help with doing this, so I don't have to keep saving. There will be saves here and there from now on, because episode 1 was just simple enough. But, you know, it's not going to be too much. Got my pipe bombs. That's still not a new weapon yet. It's fine. There is a new enemy coming, though. There isn't going to be pig cops in this episode. Instead, we're going to have something else called the Enforcer. That's a generic name, but basically he's your chain gunner. And when you kill him, he drops chain gun ammo or sometimes chain gun. So, that means you're going to get a lot of use out of the chain gun, since the ammo will be replenished of it many times, since there's so many of these guys. They're also kind of annoying, since they're hit scan, but it's not too bad. It just seems like it, due to the flashing of getting hit. You know? It's really more of a death of 1,000 cuts kind of deal with bullets that you got to worry about over time, so don't let things get too nasty. Use this med kit instead. Also, you're going to really witness the amount of times the enemies teleport in from nowhere, and you don't even see it. They'll just be right behind you, you'd be like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, that happened in episode 1, but it really shows its face here, and how backtracking doesn't mean that the enemies don't stop coming. That's really good. It helps keeping it fresh. That's something that Doom didn't really do. I think Quake does that, though, a little bit. Yeah, I think it does. Ouch! I touched the laser or force field thing. Ah! Oh, it's nice and dark in space. That door's broken. I think. Let me put the card in. Okay, the door should be open now. Okay, that's good. It's a teleport, it wasn't broken. Yeah, so... Word of advice, I just realized this now. Since some of the grunts can come back up sometimes, you can cut them off the pass just by throwing pipe bombs at them and blowing them up. So, just something to keep in mind, especially when I have a lot of these to toss around eventually. Gonna blow that shit up. That's first explosives that were available in level 1. I suppose that's gonna be a running gag, perhaps. Not that it needs to be running or gagging and screaming and gumming bound and stuff. The button combos are back. We're gonna have fun with those. The button combos are gonna get more elaborate eventually. It will be funny! Oh, see, look, that guy came out from nowhere! The funny thing is that because some of these things are completely optional, not even part of the secrets, you could have enemies generate without even realizing why. It's just happening well. It's just test running the first level, episode 3. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't been here. And then suddenly enemies come out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, there's the rest of them. When I'd already pretty much beaten it. That was funny. Anecdotes from the future! Here's our first new weapon. It's the Shrinker / Expander. You won't get to see Expander until episode 4. But this is the Shrink gun. You shrink enemies and stuff with it. Be careful, though, because it only works for a limited time until they regrow back to the original size. It's going to prove to be insanely useful, though. So don't ditch the Shrinker just because you're not using that much. I find some appropriate uses for it. In fact, I wish I kind of used it more often because it's that good. But yeah, if you need to, like, if you're having too much of a hard time, the Shrinker might be the answer. Shrinking is the answer. Shoving is the answer. Shrinking with the shover is the answer. Pack, chewy, oomph. We are the space robots. We play the Duke Nukems. Space robots. Some of these combos already come, like, pre-pressed. And the jetpack is going to be more useful. I say more useful as in more required for what I'm trying to do here. This is the Devastator. It's basically a double-action rocket launcher that you can fire rapidly. It's arguably the most overpowered weapon in the game. But it's also explosive, so don't get too close to it. But it's not going to be nearly as catastrophic as firing a rocket launcher in your face. But still, keep that in mind. And you know I'm going to use the Devastator. When on this one enemy it's useful for, and then others it's just because I need to unload, and that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Think of it as your cavalry. Here comes the cavalry weapon. Whereas a Shrinker is basically a utility weapon, honestly. Really is. For peak situations in which you think you're not getting the job done in a way you'd like. But there's one enemy in particular I like using the Shrink on. Because it just immediately renders it useless. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. Alright, again, too much chain gun ammo. That's going to be a running theme. Now that I have enforcers at the wazoo. Especially on harder difficulties where there'll be even more enforcers just to be annoying. And unlike the chain gunners in Doom, they'll actively come after you. They'll jump in from high heights and then just keep following you. Whereas the chain gunners in Doom just take their sweet-ass time. I push the thing. Oh, one last new enemy. Just now. It's this drone fucker. Now, he's like a lost soul, except he explodes. That makes him super fucking annoying. So, you know, I'm going to try to put him at bay with my pistol or chain gun or shotguns. You know, I don't want to waste things on it. However, another thing you do is instantly explode with a pipe bomb, which will be useful when they come at me in clusters. So, there you go. That is the first level of Episode 2. Lovely. Spaceport Alpha. There's one guy left who gives a rat's ass. I wouldn't give that as a gift to my horse. Who's a rat horse? Yes, that's correct.